Hi everyone, it's Jason again. Today I would like to talk about the three I's, the letter I, and three I's, two, and the pineal gland up here. Um, I do not claim to be an expert on any of this. A lot of this is my opinion. A lot of it is, from people I've spoken with. This is my understanding of these things, and it's nothing. It won't be anything too challenging for you when it comes to the spiritual realm. So, anyway, the three I's, as I see them, stand for the letter I. That is, stand for instinct, insight, and intuition. I tend to look at instinct as something that's innate, something we're born with, the knowledge that we instinctively have because it's just there. Maybe it comes from, maybe it's part of our nature, maybe it comes from a past life experience, if you believe that, which I tend to. But it is something that I believe is there and that we can tap into. Um, Insight itself to me is the ability to understand your surroundings, or what in particular is going on with you at a moment, or at a point in time in your life. uh, I look at intuition as a knowing, an inner knowing of what to do about your circumstances in your life. So that's the way I try to look at it. It gives me an understanding that I can actually work with. Um, One thing is, the reason I bring it up is that, a lot of my observations come from our dogs. And I notice that they tend to tap into these things more than we do. And I'd have to think, well, why would that be? Um, One of the things is a lot of the stuff that we have has been suppressed because of our brain function actually is not as good due to our polluted environment, our polluted water, our food source has so many chemicals in it, and believe it or not, it has a really, really big effect on every function that our bodies make throughout our entire lives. And almost no one is free from that. I doubt that there's an environment on the planet currently that is, free from all the toxins and poisons that we've been unintentionally and intentionally, uh, getting, feeding to humans. So the reason I believe that dogs are more tapped in to it is it's not about the toxins or anything, because they have to experience the exact same things that we do. Their food is bad, their water is bad, their air is bad. Um, there are pesticides, there are all sorts of chemicals that they come in contact actually even more than we do. So why would that be? Why? And obviously, one of the cases is you see dog disease has gone way up. So that's kind of a really clear sign right there. What I believe is the reason that they're able to actually rely on some of these things, their instinct, insight, and intuition, is because they don't go through formal education, which almost beats it out of us. We're basically educated 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, now you have the question, we've given you the answer, move on. There's no thinking involved. And so we actually, it would be like a muscle. If it doesn't get used, it doesn't develop anymore, and it will atrophy. And though, obviously these are my opinions on it, but let's just say, in my opinion, our ability to think has atrophied. So, and dogs aren't, dogs learn by experience. Dogs learn by what you teach them. It isn't a formal system that, kind of holds them down. So they've still been able to maintain some of these instincts, to the point where I would trust my dog's intuition better than I would my own when it comes to meeting people. or better than I would, say, someone who worked for me, because of the fact that they don't make judgments based on the same things we do. We were taught, if a guy drives a nice car, he combs his hair the right way, wears the right clothes, speaks in the right way, which is a really big one, uh, you know, we can be fooled and we can make judgments about them, and they may not be that accurate. I know that from hiring. Maybe I hired, maybe I was right 50% of the time. I actually had a client who had a very big job with American Express, and I was talking to him one morning about, I was really disappointed in an employee and what a mistake I had made, and he told me, he said, listen, I've been doing this for a really long time. As you know, I have a pretty good position with American Express. And he says, I have interviewed thousands of people over the years, and I've got to tell you that perhaps my record is probably 50% also. He says it's tough to do, so we tend to fall for that. In my opinion, and I don't have any way to prove it, had I brought my dog, Hana, to some of those interviews, maybe I wouldn't have made the same mistake. So anyway, so that's my opinion on that. As far as three eyes go, two eyes and a pineal gland, which is quite often referred to as the third eye, I don't know a lot about it. I know that our ability to use the pineal gland, which is supposed to increase our insights, that I know, has been hampered because of the fact that most humans' pineal gland is calcified. And one of the main sources of that calcification, which is a lot of the different things that obviously, we breathe and we eat and we drink. But one of the main sources of that calcification is fluoride. And, I'm sure plenty of people would love to argue with me about the uses of fluoride. But, I'm kind of like, okay, well, there are so many things that we could easily remove from our diet, and we actually have the ability to do so. So, all I know about the pineal gland is that if we get it functioning, our insights and our intuition will grow, or our knowledge, our ability to think and solve problems will actually improve. And so I think that's a good goal. And if I'm wrong, we have nothing to lose. When I was growing up, they used to always say, oh, well, we just use a fraction of our brain. And I used to think, well, that's interesting, but why would we only use a fraction of our brain? And it's like, so why do we have such a big brain if we only use a fraction of it? Because we do tend to think we're pretty darn smart. Well, I'm going to go with our brain is only functioning at a fraction of what it can do. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Otherwise, to me, it doesn't make sense to have that massive thing up there if we're only going to use a tiny percentage of it. So I'm just thinking that it's actually functioning, not very, let's say, economically. Okay, it's like it's just not doing a very good job. It's like the lazy guy at work. It's just like it could do a lot more, but it can't do it. So anyway, so those are my thoughts today. Those things interest me. I do spend a lot of time thinking. To me, it is my imagination is my reality. To a certain degree, and I've always been this way. When I was young, I used to sit in my bedroom on the floor and lean up against the bed and just sit and think, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then I lost that for a lot of years, and now I have the ability to do it a little bit more, and I'm going to take advantage of it. It is something I enjoy. I feel like I can almost travel in my mind, so for this, as I've stated at the very beginning, some of these some of these topics won't be for everybody, and I get that, and so that's why I always will label them very well, so you can, before you take a look at the video, you can kind of go, ah, not today, or you may very well go, all right, let's hear what this goofy guy has to say today. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in, I don't think I have anybody tuning in right now, but I'm thinking in the future there will be a day where somebody might want to hear a couple of my words. So anyway, thank you very much. I am in Chicago in January right now, so you can get a pretty good glimpse of how my day has been going so far. So I hope everybody has a good day, and I will bring up another video soon. If you do happen to like dogs, you'll notice some of my videos are me reading the story Floki's Army, which is a book I wrote about our boy who spent 12 years in a puppy mill. I will apologize. You would think because I wrote the book that I would be a much better narrator. I'm not. Okay, I'm okay. I don't even know if I'm okay. But anyway, I am the guy, so at least there's some emotion behind the narrating, but it is harder than I expected it to be. So I'll apologize now for that. So if you do have some interest, look for those videos, and it will take me a while, but I'll do a chapter or two at a time. I'll try to get a new chapter every between 1 and 3 days or something like that, just to kind of keep it flowing so it doesn't get boring. So anyway, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.